listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. It is another hot July week and a hot week of wrestling to talk about. We got some major world title shakeups, some people moving to different shows, and we look ahead this weekend to a Saturday night's main event. All of that and more. Before we get into anything, let me go ahead and introduce myself. One half of your hosting team. I am Micah, otherwise known as Mr. Scoop. On the other end of the call, the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast. You could call him Mr. Slammed, but I'll call him Ryan.
Yo, Micah, great to be back here with you. We got a little bit to talk about this week. A lot of wrestling happened, and of course we got the Scoop 5 coming up. But Micah, how have you been?
Been pretty solid. It's hot, but about every day we have the I guess government mandated thunderstorm to roll in at about 4 o'clock
Man.
just to make everything really humid. But nonetheless, pretty solid. How have you been over this glorious July week?
Yeah, man, just about the same. Same old, same old. A lot of wrestling to watch, but of course, you know me. I like to crunch for time and cram it all in at the last minute. So yeah, a lot of fresh stuff on my mind here for this wild world of professional wrestling this week.
But I know that, like I said, we've got a loaded show. We've got Dynamite world title change on there. We've got SmackDown, CM Punk SmackDown debut. Raw, we've got some interesting things to unpack from Raw. Some Saturday night's main event predictions will wrap us up. But to start us off, Ryan, the Scoop 5, as always, your staple of the show. Go ahead and hit me with it.
Yeah, Micah, let's just start you off with a little update here. Rhea Ripley, Micah, I'm sure you and a lot of fans have been wondering, where the heck has Rhea Ripley been? Well, this is from, she was seen at the Power Slap event. I don't know if you caught that, Micah. I don't know if you've seen any footage going around Power Slap, but side note, Jake Hager did get knocked out, took his first loss in Power Slap.
I saw that.
To a former TNA alum. I don't know if you've seen that. What was that guy's name? You remember that guy? The Indian cat?
I did. I saw it, like, I wouldn't have
What was his name?
recognized it until I saw it this week.
Shout out him. I don't remember his name, but he had that little silly dance that he did in TNA. But this is she did an interview, which she confirmed that she being Rhea, have torn her meniscus. So yeah, Micah, that explains her absence, her lengthy absence from WWE. But what do you think they do going forward with the title, Micah?
I don't know. I mean, you have to, at some point, you can't just keep Rhea off TV forever. I would think, golly, I don't know. I was gonna say I feel like they could have segued it into like the Queen of the Ring thing, but now, I mean, how long does a torn meniscus take to come back from?
Well, I remember CM Punk had that torn meniscus in the middle of his 434 title day reign back in like 2013, and he was gone for maybe 4 weeks, and he was back. So I think in wrestling it doesn't take as long to get back, but if you're like in basketball, for football, yeah, that's that's season over. But yeah, I don't know, man. She's been bitten by the injury bug a lot the last couple of years.
Yeah, this says 4 to 8 weeks. If it's
Okay.
if it's non-surgery, but if you need surgery, or if it's like a complete tear or something like that, it could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So, like you said, for NBA, that could be
That's whole
all
season. Yeah.
season. But we're gonna hope for 4 weeks. So I don't know if she'll make it for SummerSlam, but If she's going to, we kind of
What
need some type of build soon.
what happened to the 30-day like no compete title stripped away thing they used to do? Remember that? You had to
That
defend
makes
your
too much
title within
sense.
30 days. What
Yeah,
happened
but
to that?
then I mean, Roman Reigns would have never held the title for
Brock Lesnar.
1,316 days, or
Yeah,
or
Brock would
Brock
have. Yeah.
Lesnar.
Weird though, man. I
So
mean, just strip her of the title. Maybe they thought she was gonna get back sooner. But yeah, we'll stay in touch with this situation right here, Micah, and we'll move on to. Oh, I saw this the other day, Micah. The WWE ranked the top 10 Hell in a Cell matches. You wanna let me name them off real quick? Top 10.
yeah, let's go ahead.
All right, this is from bottom to top, so 10-1. I got well they have WWE ranked. They got Undertaker versus Edge, Batista versus Triple H. They got Bailey versus Sasha Banks, Undertaker versus Brock, Cactus Jack versus Triple H, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Undertaker versus Triple H, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, and number one, Micah, Undertaker versus Mankind. You got any problems with this list, Micah?
I do. I
Any?
do.
Oh, what you got?
Um, CM Punk versus Drew needs to be higher.
Oh yeah.
And what was hold on, there was one in the top. Oh, Seth versus Cody is good. It ain't that good. It should be behind Taker Mankind, Taker Shawn, Punk, Drew, Taker Triple H. Then maybe I could find it somewhere in there. But also, Cactus Jack versus Triple H to me is way too low. And Triple H versus Batista should be number 10. I'm not as high on that one as most people.
I thought that one was a pretty good match. I think it probably deserved like a 9 or 10 spot. But yeah, Cody Rhodes, Seth probably should be below Punk and Drew, in my opinion. I think that's honestly that might be the second greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time.
Yeah, it's in that territory.
Let's be honest here. Undertaker and Mankind, is that the best Hell in a Cell match?
Low key,
Ah,
I don't think so.
it's a great spectacle, but I don't know, man. The stoppage in the match kind of like ruins the flow of it, in my opinion. I know they had to stop it. I mean, Mankind damn near died, but still, I don't know. That's tricky.
Me personally, again, it's one of those that you have to see
Yeah.
from like a moment and like you said, a spectacle. But it's kind of sad to say, but in terms of like the best Hell in a Cell match, I would put the first one, which is crazy to say they've never
Yeah.
topped that. But it's kind of like Elimination Chamber, where it's like the first time you see it, it just has a different appeal. But I would probably
Shawn and
put Punk and Drew like right behind that.
yeah, I think Shawn and Taker and Punk and Drew, they both had a little edge as far as story goes. Compare that to the Mankind and Undertaker match because that kind of just got thrown together out of nowhere, like a week before the show. Meanwhile, Shawn and Taker had that story built in for the months prior, going back to that, and then you had the looming Kane debut as well.
Oh
Like the
yeah,
storylines it was just full of storylines, and the Drew and Punk saga, that probably the best rivalry we've had as far as over the last 5 years or so. Maybe El Grande versus El Grande is up there, but yeah, Drew and Punk had a great match too in that Hell in a Cell. So yeah, I don't know. I think I would have redid the top three in my opinion. I would have put Shawn and Taker, then Drew and CM Punk, and then I would have put Mankind and Undertaker. But we're nitpicking though.
yeah. I think if you went most legendary Hell in a Cell matches, absolutely Mankind versus Taker. But best bell to bell, I think third.
Yeah, Agree. A little minor news story, Micah. I don't know if you've seen this, but AEW is suing Queen of the Ring production company over unpaid sponsorship fees. All Elite Wrestling is suing the production company behind Queen of the Ring for alleging more than $105,000 in sponsorship fees for promoting the film are long overdue. So, yeah, Micah, big deal, small deal, medium deal. What do you think?
I think small deal, but I do think it's kind of
Over
not
400
funny.
grand? You gonna
Well,
sue somebody over that?
yeah, 400 grand. Well, also like that's a
No, 100 grand.
oh, well, I'm
Yeah,
saying
just
like the
for 100 grand.
400 is crazy to me for sponsorship deals, but I don't know how much goes into that. Uh, but yeah, for Tony, what's 100 grand when you're a billionaire? But then again,
Yeah,
like
that's
you
what I'm
are
saying.
owed the money, but at the same
Man,
time, I don't think there's any more irony than a movie about wrestling screwing somebody out of
yeah, come on,
money.
man. Paying Tony Nese $800,000 a year to show up once a year. You telling me you shaking down the Queen of the Ring production company for 100 grand? Are things really that peachy and rainbows over there in AEW? They shaking people down for 100 grand, Micah?
I think far more wrestlers have stole their money than $100,000, a la
The only
Miro and Malachi.
oh well, the only thing I remember them doing for that movie, I don't know if you've seen the movie, Micah, Queen of the Ring, but the only thing I remember them doing is they had that little interview, like in between the matches at the pay per view, and the girl just completely buried wrestling by saying that they know who's gonna
Oh,
win before it happens, or something to
yeah.
that effect. You remember that?
I do remember that. I had forgotten. I did see a comment that said that they owed them the 100 grand considering this was the basis behind the Tony Storm character, and I was kind of like, "Oh, well, you know."
Is it?
Well, it was right around that time I think she started doing like the Hollywood star gimmick. I think it did kind of
Okay.
spawn out of that in a sense.
Okay. All right. That's fair, I guess. So we move on, Micah, and this very captivating scoop five we got for you right here, ladies and gentlemen. Keith Lee, Micah, not the food critic, the wrestler, Keith Lee. Have you heard about this, Micah?
I
So
did see
apparently,
this today.
oh, you saw this? Okay,
I
well,
did, but go
no-
ahead.
okay, all right. I don't know. We just set the table first, because the real story is after this initial kind of scuttlebutt online. It was Mia Yim. She said something on TikTok about her and Keith Lee being divorced for a whole year now, and they were talking about this story on the Wrestling Observer radio show for Tuesday, Micah. And so let me read you this right here. Word circulating around the industry is that AEW star Keith Lee may have wrestled his last match. Fightful Select reported earlier this summer that a return to AEW programming for Lee had been discussed recently, but obviously it did not come to fruition. Now that Wrestling Observer Brian Alvarez has heard that Lee may never compete in a wrestling ring again, and Brian Alvarez said on the show, Micah, there's been a lot of talk about Keith Lee over the last couple of days. I'm not saying this 100%, okay? I'm not saying this 100% because I don't know, but from talking to people with the belief within the business is that Keith Lee is done. And we're not talking like, when he's done with AEW. If that ever happens, he'll go elsewhere. It is believed that he is likely just retired. So, yeah, Micah, what the hell went wrong with Keith Lee, man? What happened?
I think I think it just is ultimately his body as much as that sucks to say because apparently they say that he got like a bout of COVID and just never truly recovered from that. And that I mean that's happened to other athletes in sports. Maybe not at like the highest level. I can't remember that, but I have definitely heard of that like from individual cases of like high school athletes. that, for instance, had COVID, then maybe like the next football season or even 2 football seasons later would have like a heart attack,
But
and
look,
they would say that that was related to that.
but Micah, he's always tweeting something cryptic about it. Like he's not necessarily saying that. I know he doesn't owe us this information, but if you're a public figure and the narrative online is going around that you had COVID and you had long-term COVID and wasn't the same, but then you can just stop all those rumors by telling us what's actually happening because he's never confirmed nor denied any of that. And I think last tweet he had about it that got a lot of news online is when he said that it's not up to him whether he is seen AEW again. Like, who is it up to then? I I don't know, man. It's just a weird situation full of like cryptic tweets, and I don't know. Maybe we'll never get the full side of the story. Maybe they just iced him out. Maybe they just didn't like what they saw because he's wrestled sporadically since that time period.
Yeah, I was looking at it now that we brought it up. He came back in 2023 and kind of did some stuff with,
Oh
you
man,
remember, like the Swerve, and it really got
when when did he show up with like the all gray hair? When was that? Was that
I think
2023?
I think that was late 2023, because in January 2024 he underwent double surgeries and has been on hiatus since.
Jeez. Yeah, man,
So
just
it's
a
crazy,
very
almost two,
weird
or
situation.
yeah, over 2 years now. And it's kind of crazy because I just
Remember all that
felt
hype
like,
he had when
yeah,
he came
coming
in?
into AEW, like I felt like he was gonna be, a quick main eventer. Like they were immediately gonna put him up there. Obviously, the promos were kind of but you can get away with it in AEW. And honestly, I loved him and Swerve's tag team run. I think that was one of the best times for AEW tag teams. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It honestly sounds like one of those situations where, when it rains, it pours, to hear all that stuff about him and Mia Yim, and then now this, that he's potentially retired. I do hate that.
He never really fit the mold for a world champion in AEW, if we're being honest here. They have their idea set of what a professional wrestling world champion looks like over there, and Keith Lee doesn't meet that criteria. He's not 5'8", he's not Caucasian, Micah. I mean, yeah, he doesn't do the flips like the other guys. I mean, it just wasn't gonna work out.
But Ryan, I thought AEW pushes black talent. I thought they were the only company that does that.
Look, Micah, I seen a stat the other day that 89% of all the world champions have been uh, white guys, and particularly 5'9", 190-pound white guys at that. So they have their particular guy in mind, and that's okay. And Keith Lee just didn't fit that, and maybe that's why he got iced out, man. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe it's injuries. Maybe it's the long-term COVID. I don't know what happened. Maybe we'll never get the full story, but it's very interesting to just kind of look back in hindsight, Micah. How much would Keith Lee and Adam Cole's career be different if they would just stayed in WWE?
Yeah,
Because you
I mean,
remember
only
that was the thing going online that Adam Cole was pitched the idea to be Keith Lee's manager. And now look at Adam Cole, man. It's been a year since he cut that promo saying that he was stepping back from wrestling. And now Keith Lee is supposedly retired. So what would their career look like if they would just stay in WWE?
I don't know. It truly depends on Keith Lee's situation. I think with Adam Cole, obviously, he would have been, you know, it depends on how you look at it, because at the same time, while I kind of felt uninterested in Adam Cole in AEW for most of his run, he did main event the highest attended show in wrestling history. So I guess for that, we would have never got to see that. But at the same time, would Adam Cole still be on TV managing somebody in WWE. I honestly don't know why they don't put him in that role on AEW right now, even
Hey,
while
remember he was like Professor X type gimmick, and they just made a comedy thing with Roddy and Matt Taven and who's the
oh
other jabroni they
yeah,
had in there?
Mike Bennett.
Yeah. What happened to those guys, by the way?
I don't think they're there anymore. I think they got let go. But yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, and I would like to look at like the AEW signings year by year because it just feels like a certain crop of signings just were like immediately cursed. Like I think it may be 2021 or 2022. Um Obviously Punk, that whole situation. Danielson panned out, Cole got hurt. This is all 2021. Ruby Soho, who I
Oh
was
my.
high on initially, but I think she's had a baby and hasn't been on TV in probably years at this point. Malachi Black was in that 2021 class. And then with 2022, you did have Tony Storm, but you also have Soraya who didn't pan out. You've got Swerve, Claudio, but Claudio really is just kind of in the background now. So it feels like a lot of those early signings were 50-50. Some were great and some just never panned out.
And they continue to lean on the same 4 or 5 guys they have. People talk about WWE being stagnant and WWE leaning on the same 4 or 5 guys, but AEW does the same thing, man. Like look at the world champions over the years.
I
Same
mean,
4 or 5 guys.
I agree with you for the world title scene. However, I will say if the proposed main event of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay stays the same, this will be another set of people that have never main evented Wembley before. They've never like had the same person main event Wembley in 4 years or main event All in 4 years.
But it's the same guys though.
No, I don't understand. It's literally
It's the
not.
same guys it's the same guys at the top of the card over and over again.
Oh, I mean,
Not
yeah,
just
like
the Wembley
MJF is
show.
a main card stay, and obviously Omega and Osprey and Hangman and Moxley, like all those guys are main card. But I will say they have managed to rotate everybody in the Wembley main event.
No, but not just Wembley. I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head of like a new main card. Like, could you even count Osprey? Because he hasn't been world champion, but he's been a pretty much a main card mainstay there for at least 2 to 3 years.
Okay, we'll give you Osprey, but who else is broken out like that though?
I wouldn't even throw Darby in there.
Who's like a guy they've grown, like homegrown guy? Would you count MJF? Count
Yeah,
MJF, right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, who else are we counting?
I don't count Swerve because he came from NXT, and even then, since he feels like a main eventer, but it just never feels like he's. I've never been like Swerve is winning the world title since he dropped it. Omega's been champ, but obviously New Japan stuff. Hangman was kind of homegrown, but
He was ROH in New Japan. Let's not make it seem like he was a straight up unknown going in there. He was still
yeah.
in that upper mid card in New Japan and ROH at the time. He was friends with the Bucks. They had their little clique going on. But like as far as like guys that we didn't see on mainstream TV, like MJF and who else?
The only thing I can think right now is if you more look so in the mid card, like Takeshita,
But they've been
Kyle
the mid card.
Fletcher.
They've been the mid card for so long, bro.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're not. It seems like they have no path to get to that upper main event level.
No, especially Takeshita. I'm so
Oh
which we could
God.
talk about that anyways, but I'm so perplexed by what they want to do with him because it feels like every time they're finally ready to let him have a go at it just never pans out. I do want to look at the last few TNT champions. Right now, Kevin Knight, he's pretty much a new acquisition, so we have to see how he pans out. Fletcher is a new acquisition, but has yet to really break out in the main event scene. Champa, not homegrown, but again, I don't know if he's going to make it into the main event scene. Mark Briscoe, not homegrown. Dustin Rhodes, that's yeah. Adam
Are we
Cole's
being bad
hurt.
faith here? Are we being bad faith? I don't
I'm
think we
trying to
are.
again, they have a certain crop of guys. Like I said, Takeshita, Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, like they have a good young core now, and I'm interested to see what they do with them. But the problem is like I truly feel like Oba and Trick and even Javon per se, maybe not so much Javon, but Oba and Trick feel like in 6 months they could feasibly be world champion, maybe sooner,
Yeah.
but not with Triple H booking. We got to do it at the big shows. But in AEW, I don't see a Fletcher world title or Kevin Knight or Takeshita or any of those guys breaking into like the true main event scene within the next year. Maybe Fletcher, just because I'm assuming Osprey will be champion and there's some history to be told there.
I
But
gotta
that's
see.
it.
I gotta see what he can do without Don Callis, though. I gotta see because right now, in the current state, I mean, Kevin Knight and Kyle Fletcher are relying on Don Callis to cut there's just a ceiling to that, bro. He just feels too haha to me. Feels too comedy.
No, I agree with you. I'm not big on Don, but I don't know. That's my thing. Like, I agree with you to a degree, but it's definitely funny to me when people are like, "Oh, AW actually pushes the young stars," and it's like, really? Because it's
The 42-year-old Kenny Omega is world champion.
yeah,
They're
and
pushing the young guys though.
we can segue that into the Dynamite review, which we can start with, because I do have some thoughts on Kenny winning the world title, obviously. But we will start off with their not their first match. That was Ciampa and Jericho. I don't want to do that to you guys. But Dynamite here was Dynamite Beach Break. This was a pretty cool venue. Takes me back a little bit to the unique venues of WCW. So I do like to see that type stuff. This was at like a amphitheater, I guess, like right there on the coast of Florida. I thought it was a
They were
really
at,
cool setup.
we've been out there. We've been to Clearwater.
Have we?
Yeah,
Oh
that's Tampa.
yeah. Yeah, that's
We've
Tampa.
been out
Okay.
there. Went to a comic book shop out there.
That's right. I do
I think
remember
the
that now.
venue for Royal Rumble was in Clearwater.
No, it was in St. Petersburg because it's the Tampa Bay
Was it?
Rays stadium.
Okay.
But it is all kind of in the same
It's
area.
you know what they're known for out there in Clearwater?
I'm assuming they're clear water.
Oh, okay, all right. But other than that, Mike, they're like the unofficial capital of Scientology. Do you know that?
What?
Yeah, a lot of Scientologists out there.
I thought that would be in like California or something.
Yeah, like Los Angeles. That they have like a headquarters out there in Los Angeles, but I think a lot of the members are out there in Clearwater.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that where like they were taking like the minions and like the little people and like storming the Scientology like capital? Did
Wait
you
a
ever
minute.
see
No,
those
I
videos?
no, I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I never
they,
seen that one.
dude, they were cracking me up. People would like, I kid you not, these guys dressed up like minions and somebody dressed up like Gru and they just stormed the Scientology, like, I guess headquarters or whatever. And it was just funny. I'll say that. If you've never seen that, go seek it out on TikTok. That was popular like 3 or 4 months ago, and they did it like a handful of times.
I think I have seen that. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't see the Minions one, but I remember seeing videos of guys just storming through the building.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw one where they did it with like little people. Like they had a bunch of little people storm the Scientology capital. I don't know. Anyways, to get off on this tangent, no, I did not know that was the Scientology capital of the world. But
Yeah.
we'll get back off of religion and storming buildings. That was for the Jericho segment.
Oh man,
To Konosuke Takeshita versus Kyle Fletcher. And this was everything I basically anticipated it would be. Obviously, this has been kind of the Don Callis family war. But I knew both guys were gonna have good chemistry together because they have been tag partners for a while and they do wrestle a similar style. And as we were talking about earlier, these are two of the biggest young stars in AEW. So I was interested to see how this played out. Now, I thought this was a really good match. It was pretty hard hitting. They do a little bit of stuff that I don't know that it necessarily fits them. Mainly Fletcher. I wish he would do a little bit more power stuff instead of more of the Osprey style. But nonetheless, I thought it was a really good match. But the thing that bothered me, Ryan, and then I'll pass the baton to you here, was Kyle Fletcher won this match, defeating Konosuke Takeshita when Takeshita won the belt like a month or 2 months ago at Double or Nothing. Now, evidently, this is for Takeshita to go do the G1 in Japan, but I just didn't see a need to take the belt off of Takeshita here when it felt like, and this is something we talked about at Double or Nothing, it finally felt like, okay, here's the push. They're using Takeshita. He's going to break away from the group. And now I just feel like we're on hold with that again.
what did he really do with the title though when he was champ?
Nothing. He's been stuck in this feud the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think he's done much since he's had the title. So I didn't see a problem putting the belt back on Fletcher, but it just kind of reassures what we already kind of knew about Takeshita. They just don't see him at that level, and they never will. He can get as many like moral victories and breakout wins. He can get as many of those as the audience pleases, Micah, but they just don't see him at that main event level. Remember he beat Omega 2 years ago? You remember that?
Yeah.
Might have been 3 years ago at this point. And everybody said that this is gonna get him to the next level. And it just never did.
About to say he's never gotten to the main event level, but Omega has just won another championship. So yeah, I don't know. And I don't get it because to me, I mean, how do you not put Takeshita up there? He's one of the best wrestlers in the world when that bell rings. It's just I feel like once again, this is one of those situations where one of two things should happen. Number one, we need more managers in wrestling because obviously Takeshita English is not his native language. So we need serious managers, not Don Callis, that could actually get Takeshita over to that next level. But not only that, we need just an overhaul of how foreign wrestlers are treated in wrestling. And this is something we've talked about before, where, as somebody who watches anime, throw me some subtitles up on the screen so I can get to know this person, so I can get to, understand who they are, what they believe in. I don't see why that's not something that wrestling companies utilize more.
Can you do live translation? You can do that, right?
I mean, I
Like
don't know
live
if
closed caption.
I I don't know about
I don't
that,
think
but
it.
I mean, do a pre-tape.
Oh, yeah, that too. But I mean, there's got to be a way to program some AI to give me a live translation of what he's saying in the ring. Because I know they. I hate. I feel like I bring up this company every week now. But in AAA, man, they give you the subtitles on in ring promos, and I know it's pre-tape, like as far as the show goes, so they can probably put everything in there and post credit. But like, there ain't no way to hook up some AI to these in ring promos and let these Japanese guys go out there and speak.
Or not even that. Is there like, you know what I mean? Is there somebody that we could get that's bilingual and could do the translation thing that they do in
Bilingual
AAA? You
by a
said
lot of
what?
things, huh? You're bilingual, huh?
I thought I heard that Triple H joke in the back of my mind. But nonetheless, Kyle Fletcher is the new AEW International Champion. This went 16 minutes 45 seconds. Like I said, I thought it was a solid match, but nothing major to me stuck out other than just I hated to see Takeshita lost. Following that, and boy, this was the second longest match of the night, and it felt longer. The Women's Casino Gauntlet match for an AEW Women's World Championship match at AEW Redemption. What in the world were they thinking? Tekla on commentary. I would rather pour hot grease in my ears than listen to Tekla on commentary again. And we talked about this off air, man. I don't understand. I don't know if I just have a warped sense of humor or what. But she is just not funny, dude. It's not funny to hear people talk about motorboating, especially whenever, this is something I don't understand with Tony Storm either. We are trying to move past treating women in wrestling like, it's just sex appeal. And then you have this, what do you call her, Ryan? The drunk auntie out here talking about motorboating Mina Shirakawa. Like, what are we doing? This was terrible. The match was terrible. The commentary was terrible. The only good thing was the winner, which was Willow Nightingale. And I'll let you take it from here, Ryan.
Well, I was gonna say it's just very weird how, like, on comments she would make these like rude jokes, and then just the commentators beside her, Shivani, Taz, and XK, they wouldn't even say anything. They would just kind of like, it would just be like like silence for like 10 seconds. Like nobody
Yeah.
acknowledged what she said. It was just very awkward, man. And I know some people got a kick out of that on commentary, her, doing the little one-liners and burying everybody in the match, but I don't think it helped anybody involved. And I just think that the crowd didn't care, and it was a slog to get through, man. It was very, it wasn't their best of the night. I'll say that.
No, I put it on mute. I'm not even playing until I saw like somebody that I deemed as like was actually going to win the match. Like when I seen Willow, I turned it back up. But dude, in between that, it was awful. And
Yeah,
the in-ring action wasn't a whole lot better. It was just kind of on in the background to me. It's just
slow, very slow
yes,
plotting.
and
Yeah,
retire the Casino Gauntlet match.
the crowd perked up too when Willow came out there. We don't have any stars in that division. The only time they perked up was when Willow came out there.
Yeah, I know they're
I,
three. I won't even say they're 3 stars because I guess they like Tekla, but I feel like it's like the online audience likes her because I don't really hear her get a
yeah, I
giant
don't hear it.
reaction.
Yeah, I don't hear it in the arena at all.
But Willow and Monet are obviously they're both their biggest stars that they have right now. And I'm assuming I would pray to God that they would do the right thing and put the belt on Willow at Redemption, and then they can run it back with Willow and Monet, or this is the worst option, not the worst option, but it is a worse of the two. You do a triple threat, Tekla, Monet, and Willow while I'm not as big on that as the singles match, it is your 3 biggest women's stars that you could put
What?
in the match.
Well, hey, did you see the aftermath of the match too? When spoiler alert, everybody. I don't know if we said this, but Willow won the match, and then it was just kind of the Divine Dominion appeared on stage. Were they doing something on Collision? Why are they aligned with Monet now?
I'm not 100% sure. I guess she
We
traded
missed
Camille
something?
for the other 2.
Yeah, what happened to Camille? She came back that 1 week.
You know, Ring of Honor.
She's tied up in litigation, Mike, with the lawsuit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ring of Honor. I don't even think she's on that.
Well, if she was, you could tell me
That's
anybody
Maya
was on
World
that
show,
show, and
pal.
I'd tell you, huh,
That's my that's where Maya World resides, pal. You disrespect her show like that.
Athena Elite Wrestling, and we never let Athena on the actual show unless it's a battle royale or a tournament, so she can take a loss.
So Monet is aligned with the Divine Dominion, and then Tekla has the Sisters of Sin. Still, I don't know how, but they're still there. And does Willow bring in? I guess she has Harley Cameron, and who was Harley teaming with
That
recently?
is a great question.
She was
I
teaming with
mean, it
somebody
was
recently.
Willow.
It was, but then she got a new tag partner. I don't remember who it was, but whoever that was, I'm sure she'll be a part of this going forward. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, I guess.
Maybe Stat. I could see her in Stat kind of
Oh
reuniting,
God,
maybe.
the mighty have fallen. Remember, she was supposed to be the next breakout star.
Yeah. They never let her run with the ball, but anyways, we'll move on to the main event of AEW Beach Break. For the AEW World Championship, a last chance match had Kenny Omega lost. He will never be able to compete for the AEW World Championship ever again. MJF versus Kenny Omega. This match went 24 minutes. Kenny Omega did defeat MJF by pinfall. To break it down, I really, really liked this match. And I was skeptical coming in because I didn't feel like these two had great chemistry. Because I feel like every match that they've had has been good, but there's just been a little bit more left to be desired. And the way this started off, I was afraid. I was afraid that it was going to be the same. It started kind of slow to me. One of the things I wrote down was like, Kenny, I get it's your style, man, but he climbed up on that watchtower they had at the front of the show because it was beach themed. And he climbed up there and does the backflip and doesn't once turn around to see if MJF is still there. I don't understand why we don't do that anymore. Like, it takes half a second to turn around and just like act like you know that the guy is still there.
And you know what? Let's shoot. Let's shoot the camera shot where MJF is just standing there waiting on him. Let's just keep that shot right there. That's great. That's great stuff right there. Like, come on, man. There was no other camera angle.
Yeah.
They just sat there while MJF just stood around and put his hands in his pocket, waiting on Omega.
And so that was one thing that did bother me about the start of the match. But other than that, I thought we eventually finally started cooking. We put it on high. It took a little bit to come down or, to warm up, I should say. But once we got there, I felt like we got there. Uh, I remarked that I really have enjoyed this so far, but what is their insistence on killing the tombstone or just the pile driver in general? Because I believe at one point MJF hit a tombstone pile driver to Kenny Omega on a chair on the outside of the ring. And MJF is bad about that tombstone. And listen, I get you with the super kick, but there's some moves that just shouldn't be transition moves. It bothers me when
Yeah,
Osprey does the Styles Clash, and it really bothers me when guys do the tombstone.
but I thought you were gonna bring up MJF just jumping into the announce table head first. You see that?
I did see that. I thought it was a crazy bump.
I don't. It wasn't nitpicking here, but it just seemed like he just jumped on into the table. I don't know. They made it look
Well,
fake too because the table just kind of like crumpled, like it was made out of I don't know paper mache. His head went through the table.
yeah, I did see that. Like the top part kind of just
Yeah,
immediately
that's
caved.
not. Yeah, that's not a table's break.
But I will admit, it did kind of shock me because I was worried when he went in like that because they have built up the tables as like, they're not supposed to break. Like AEW doesn't really do a whole lot of break announce table spots anymore. So when he went head first into it, I have to admit the way they built that up did shock me a little bit because I was like, oh Jesus Christ, he's about to land straight on his neck.
He did.
Yeah, I mean he did, but it just it wasn't as reinforced this week. So
Yeah.
I didn't mind that spot, but I do know what you're talking about. It is kind of what typically happens with tables every now, or at least as much as they use tables in wrestling now. At one point, there was a reverse Hurricane Rana that was just insane to see. Kenny Omega landed right on his head, and not to mention, because I meant to mention this earlier, but I was I had been outside this day while this show was going on, and, being in Alabama, Florida is our next door neighbor, it tends to be a little hotter down there, and I was cooking this day, so I can only imagine how hot it was because it is an outside venue, no air conditioning, and you could tell whenever Kenny went to lift him up, during the spot because it was gonna be, I believe, an Avalanche One-Winged Angel, and Kenny or I'm sorry, MJF reversed it, but you could tell that Kenny was struggling. And I think you could see a little worry in MJF's face because they were sweating so bad that they worried it probably wasn't going to go off right. So I do commend them because wrestling in that heat for 24 minutes and everything being as safe as it was is kind of crazy. But anyways, the reverse Hurricane Rana was crazy to see. Kenny landed right on his head, and then MJF came up with the Heat Seeker. They got me here. I thought that was going to be it, just because not a lot of guys kick out of that Heat Seeker. But if you thought that they got me there, they really got me with the low blow into the title shot. I 1000% I would have put my life savings on that being it for Omega. But nonetheless, we get a kick out at 1,
Oh,
and I hate to put on my stand up for AEW hat, but if they're going to do a kick out at 1, this is the absolute right way to do it in my opinion.
oh man. How so?
Well, in this case,
He has
it
no
was deep.
balls.
No, it was
Okay.
deep into the match.
Yeah.
And again, there's stakes behind this match. It's not just a shot for the world title. This is the last gasp for Omega to be a main eventer. Because if you can't challenge for the AW World Championship, you're not going to be a main eventer. So, with that implication behind this, and then not only that, but the way that it was executed. Because, for instance, I'll harken you back to one that I hated, which was Osprey versus Swerve at Forbidden Door. Osprey hits the hidden blade, kick out at 1. Swerve hits the house call, kick out at 1 to transition into a clothesline where they sit and they milk the applause. That is ridiculous. That is garbage. That is the typical Osprey crap that I cannot stand in his matches that he's so insistent on. But here, as soon as Kenny Omega got up, we did a little strike exchange that I didn't think was, the best strikes, but they went straight to the finish. One winged angel, 1, 2, 3. Kenny gets the win. They didn't go on for another 5 minutes. They didn't hit a finish and then have MJF kick out and then hit another finish. It was straight through. And I thought it was the most linear kick out at 1 that I've seen in probably years, maybe ever in AEW.
Bro, he got hit with a title and a low blow 20 plus minutes into the match, and he kicks out at 1, and you can justify that?
Again, I think you have to apply context. I think, like I said, with the fact that it is his last gasp to be a main eventer, it was
Well,
like a Hulk up spot.
did he get shot up with adrenaline during that title belt shot?
Well,
How does
no,
that
but
how does that well
it's
how's
the
the Hulk up spot? It seems like everybody's doing the Hulk up spot over there. I think it's garbage in every company. Whenever you kick out at 1, you can do that early on in the match, sure. Maybe like a quick little scoop slam, and then guy goes down and cover him. 1, other guy kicks out. Okay, that's fine. But kicking out at 1 with a low blow and a title belt shot after you taking a tombstone on the steel chair, wrestling for 20 plus minutes, I don't care who you are, man. That's silly. That's hokey. It took me out of the match, which I thought it was a good match up to that point. But yeah, I don't think that was necessary at all. Bro, Roman kicking out those 2.9 kickouts are so much more rewarding than a guy just hulking up at 1 count that they do so much now. I don't know. It just seems kind of hokey. And then MJF had the little cheesy facial expressions when he kicked out at 1. Did you see that?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
That looked so
It didn't
fake. That
strike me
looked
as cheesy.
so theater kid, bro. All of them a theater kid, man. But yeah, that was just. I mean, if you like that kind of stuff, I'm happy for you. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the fighting spirit, Micah. That's not how I like my wrestling.
Well, and
But
again, I'm typically with you. Again, my thoughts. And this is why guys like Osprey don't need to be spamming the kick out at 1 because then it
well,
loses its
no,
purpose.
Your man Swerve was doing that too at the last show. So what makes that different than this?
Well, it's like I explained. That was a transition spot. That was again
Oh,
just
what's
for a
what's the
world title
transition spot?
shot when they did the
Come on,
kick out at 1.
they were hitting finishers, pal. There wasn't nothing transitional about that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they hit their finish, then got up,
Yeah,
or they both hit their finish. They both kicked out at 1. They got up and clothesline, and then they sat on the mat for another 30 seconds to then hit 5 more finishers and then go home. That's ridiculous.
but kicking out at 1 after a title belt shot isn't.
It's ballsy, but again, I look at it as like, your body's last gasp. Like if it like this is it. This is all you have emptied the tank to kick out
Kenny,
here. You have to go to the finish now, and that's what they did.
but Kenny does this in a lot of his big matches where he kicks out at 1. So does he always get that rush of adrenaline in his matches like this? Is it always his last ditch effort to kick out at 1? Why does he do that the whole match?
Well, because you're getting time to rest if you wait till 2.
I think you just like Kenny, and that's kind of blinding you real right now. Because
No,
I
I
don't
think
think you
it's the
can.
execution.
I don't think you can bury that Swerve and Osprey match and enjoy what they did in this match.
I feel like that's 2 completely different ends of the spectrum because Osprey it's overdone and it's ridiculous because it's not the finish. And here they went to the finish and there's way more like stakes involved for Kenny. It's not just like, oh, the chance for a world title, which is a big deal, but this is Kenny's last chance for a world title.
Uh, yeah. I guess I can see where you're coming from, but it just kind of ruined the end of the match for me. And the fact that MJF was just basically a transitional champion for Omega is very interesting. How do you feel about that booking? Wouldn't that just been? Why not just keep the title on Darby if you're just gonna do that?
Well, I think it can all be circled back to just having the title stay on MJF instead of giving it to Darby when they did.
And you know what, Paul? Let me go back real quick. Do you remember how angry the IWC was when Brock no sold those chops from Ilya Dragunov?
Yeah.
But yet Omega can just take a belt shot and kick to the ball. Kick out at one. It's fine. Hulk
Well,
up.
you'll have to take that up with those people. I didn't have any problem with Brock no selling Ilya's chops because
Let's just no sell
Brock
everything.
freaking
Let's
wrestled.
let's just all run around. Let's just not sell nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't even need to sell it.
It's all fake.
Yeah.
We all know it's fake, guys.
You think this is real?
Oh, but nonetheless, I do kind of see your point. MJF kind of got again the Takeshita thing we talked about earlier, short title reign. I think that this would have been better had MJF not lost it to Darby earlier this year. I don't think that
he lost on Dynamite twice this year. He lost the world title twice on Dynamite this year. Can you believe that?
yeah. I'd never defended on Dynamite again if I was him.
And now you have essentially abandoned the story of your top heel and your quote unquote top baby face in the biggest show of the year that they do in Wembley Stadium at All In. You've abandoned that for Dave Meltzer's dream match, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Bro, is Meltzer gonna make it? Like he may just like this, the orgasm that he's gonna have watching that match, Mike. Like he may not recover.
Will only be left with the ghost of the goon.
Are we prepared for that?
I don't know. It might be 8 stars. Well, I say that.
He closes up shop. He just ends the website.
They would have to stream it from the Tokyo Dome for it to be 8 stars.
You ever see that meme of like Randy Marsh from South Park? Like,
yeah, I know the exact one you're talking about. He's already starting to walk around with the wheelbarrow right now.
Oh man,
he's building up. But yeah, I'm not sure how to feel because again, we kind of talked about it last week. At large, do you feel slighted if you're MJF because he's largely the reason this company is in the state that it's in right now?
We can blame him, huh?
No, I'm not blaming him. I'm not praising him.
Okay.
But to then take that kind of away from him just to run this match, and I don't know how to feel about the match. I don't know if it's one of those like
you're conflicted
match.
Very conflicted, I see.
Do I need to turn my brain off and just accept what I'm about to see because it's an Ospreay match, or do I need to, go into it with my heart because Kenny's in it?
You know what you're gonna see. You just gotta accept it. Maybe it'd be more like digestible if the guy, the baby face, or I guess both baby faces, the guy that they're pushing, that they want to win the title, was like a person you could root for. But the way Ospreay, the way he conducts himself online and on the show, I don't want to cheer for this guy.
Oh no, not at all. It's
you want to cheer for that guy,
and it was kind of my concern if they were going to run him and MJF because like Ospreay is technically like he's a guy hanging out with heels. Like this isn't staying in the main event mafia. Like I feel like you're not supposed to like Ospreay. So if you put him against MJF, it's like, well, I hate both these guys. So I guess at least with Kenny, you do have somebody to root for, but at the same time, Ospreay is going to be in the UK, so he's definitely going to be a babyface there.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he's going to get more cheers. I think people will probably cheer Omega more.
Really? In the UK?
I think so. I think Omega's a bigger draw in the UK.
I don't
really
know.
do.
We'll have to see. Obviously they've got Redemption coming up soon, I think, but then All In will be next month.
Bro, it's
So
like you say, he's hanging out with heels, and if you know anything about his his off-screen persona, you wouldn't. He's hanging out with heels off-screen too, apparently. And yeah, I don't.
dastardly heels at that.
Yeah, and 14-year-old girls too. But we're the weird ones for pointing that out. But we'll see where it goes. One might say I wouldn't, but one might say it's heating up over there in AEW, Micah.
Well, I'm interested to see what they do over the summer, and I would like to add one more thing
Oh,
that,
go ahead. Yeah.
like you said, over the little clip that I posted of Osprey, which was mostly, all in jest, but people took to the internet to just be, my God, scathing responses and calling me a weirdo because, oh, I'm sorry. I'm calling out the guy that's, making excuses for his pedophile friend, or, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to watch a sweaty grown man in his underwear wrestle a 9-year-old in Japan. Bro, you don't like that? That's not funny and entertaining to you? No. What would be funny and entertaining about that?
That's very weird. If you showed that to anybody who's not a wrestling fan, or just show any wrestling fan, actually, I'm sure the majority would say that's really weird.
Exactly.
That a grown man in his drawers is rolling around there with a 9-year-old girl.
And like,
I don't care if he trained the girl, bro. That's weird, man.
yes, and again, like,
It seems like it's like fetish stuff, man.
well, I mean, they're friends with Chasen Rance, I think his name is.
Yeah. It seems like it's like fetish stuff disguised as pro wrestling. Just like, man, I don't want to say this on pod, but yeah, there's a lot of weirdos out there that praise that Omega and the 9-year-old girl match. Those are the same type of people that praise the blow up doll matches. They love to see stuff like that, and I can't get behind it. If you like it, roll tide. But yeah, I can't get behind that.
Yeah, me either. It's just odd. And especially, man, if I saw it in like 2018, okay, like it'd still be weird, but like whatever. But like, man, in the world we live in today,
Oh my.
you know what I mean? Like, there's just
Yeah.
people like blame me for having like, for making conclusions. It's like, Jesus, like, you know what I mean? It feels like everywhere you turn up some disgusting thing that people are doing with children. Like, that's gross. And so then when you
You know
see something
what?
like that, it's gross.
Oh yeah, Omega was the one wrestling with the kid. You know what? Maybe we should just have Chris Hansen be the special guest referee in this match.
Oh God.
You think is he available?
Loser goes to prison.
Why don't you just take a seat match?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. Just take a seat for me. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to address that because I could not understand how it got spun on to me that I'm weird for not being okay with a grown man wrestling a 9-year-old and thinking that that's objectively weird. But I'm the weird one. Okay, whatever, man. Regardless of all that, we move on. Friday Night Punk down. It is time. The return of CM Punk to the Blue Brand, and that's what they opened up with here. CM Punk came out to basically address the crowd, address the SmackDown roster, saying that he would, take on all challengers, Finn Balor, Royce Keys, Gunther. He acknowledged everybody but Mr. Cody Rhodes, who would make his appearance. Punk asked him, what he wanted to talk about. And that led into the match at SummerSlam, which we're not sure, but I'm assuming main event of night one, Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. I think this is linear storytelling, easy for me to say. But as CM Punk brought up in this promo, and this is a promo or this is in reference to a promo that he cut with Cody in the ring after WrestleMania. You never know when a title opportunity will fall out of the sky. And that's what he referenced here, which, for all the people with their pitchforks and that are pissed off that CM Punk won the world title, they've told a story here and it makes sense. And Punk referenced that here in the promo. I thought this was a pretty solid introduction into SmackDown and a good segue into what will be obviously the build over the summer between Punk and Cody.
Yeah, it was fine. I feel like they got a lot of meat on the bones here, but we'll see. I'm interested to see if maybe one turns heel. We'll stay updated, but yeah, I think to have that to have maximum potential out of this feud, one of them got turned heel, man. I respect you, and I want you at
Yeah.
your best. I don't need that anymore. They've done that. They've done that for the last couple of years with Cody and CM Punk. They've had run-ins, in-ring segments together where they're just buddies, and there should be some more back and forth with the heel and babyface dynamic here.
Well, let me ask you, Ryan, who would you rather turn heel out of these two?
Well, of course, you CM Punk's the best heel, but I don't think CM Punk's gonna get booed. So I think you have to go Cody Rhodes, and it would give him a fresh coat of paint too if Cody does go heel. I don't think he takes the title off Punk because supposedly, Micah, the NBC Universal execs really want CM Punk to have a long title reign and to steer the ship in the right direction because Cody was going in the opposite direction as far as ratings. So yeah, CM Punk's gonna have a long reign with this title, but I think if we're getting a legendary feud, we need a heel and babyface dynamic here. We don't need babyface versus babyface.
I agree with you basically on all points because while I selfishly want to see one last heel Punk run, I feel like we just kind of like we constantly get guys turning heel against Cody. We got it with Randy, we got it with KO, we got it with AJ Styles. Like you said, a fresh coat of paint is needed, and I feel like you can definitely get that by turning Cody Rhodes heel here. And I think Punk has enough welfare, I guess, with the fans that Cody could actually get some pretty heavy boos facing off against Punk.
Yeah, and it's not like turn a John Cena heel. John Cena with the long time baby face. Cody Rhodes only been there for a couple of years. I don't think it'd be that much of a shock or that much of a hit to the business to turn Cody Rhodes heel. Especially when you got other guys that can step right into his place as number one babyface. You got Obafemi right there.
Yeah. Or even Punk, realistically. He's
Yeah.
getting big reactions. He moves merch.
Yeah. I just meant like, the young guy that can step up to be the number one guy. Or maybe they just don't have a number one guy. They can just have a bunch of 1A, 1B guys.
My 1A, 1B right now in terms of young guys would be Trick and Oba, but
Yeah. And then maybe if we can ever get Braun Breaker back,
oh God, we
he
gotta
can be.
talk about that.
We'll get there.
But following that, speaking of our aforementioned 1A, 1B guy, we got Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes in a non-title contest. If Melo wins, he would have gotten a United States Championship match at SummerSlam. And listen, people will try to tell you, they'll look you in your eyes and tell you that Trick Williams is just bland or straight out bad in the ring. And I just don't agree with that. I think Trick wrestles his style. I think he's good in the ring. He just doesn't wrestle that style, that everybody loves. He doesn't wrestle like Carmelo Hayes, but he wrestles like Trick Williams should wrestle. And I thought this was a pretty good match. Obviously, these guys are going to have good chemistry together. And, I made a video on him today. Right now, my front runner for manager of the year. But Lil Yachty cracked me up here because it's just his voice. It really, he was made to be a manager on WWE television because I believe it was at one point where Trick hit Mello with, I'm sure, one of his finishers. I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head. And Lil Yachty just like in that voice, oh, come on, man, come on, man. Like, I don't know why, but it just cracked me up so much. I love their pairing,
Be a modern day Jimmy Hart, man. That's what he is.
basically. But Ryan, how did you feel about this match? I'll leave the big twist to
Well,
the end.
yeah, I really think the story of this match, Micah, is the aftermath when we got the return of the King, King Corbin. And yeah, I never thought that we would get a holy, a holy chant for Baron Corbin in 2026, but here we are. They did that.
It don't mean it was justified or needed.
It's a very I don't know. It puts in perspective about that. There was a clip going around, CM Punk saying, guys need to get off their phone because none of that really matters because the fans in the arena is the only one you should be worried about. And you know, I mean, he's right, but that doesn't mean that I want to see Baron Corbin in 2026.
No. This is one of the most, I don't even know the word, brain dead, boneheaded, maybe that's the term I'm looking for, signings that WWE has made. Corbin had reached his peak in WWE
He stunk.
and he stunk. He's never done anything interesting to me since I came back in 2021. And the only thing, Ryan, I think you resonate with this better than I will because I wasn't watching during this time. But Dolph Ziggler had enough stake to escape the image that is burned into my mind when I think of Baron Corbin, and that is Baron Corbin pouring dog food on Roman Reigns' head. I can never look at him and not think about that.
Yeah, that was such a. Whenever somebody thinks about like late stage Vince McMahon booking, you just you just think about the dog food and Baron Corbin and how much he loved Baron Corbin, bro. He loved him some Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was pushed on that show, on every show, because he was the general manager basically for both shows. And yeah, we got so much Baron Corbin over the late 2010s, bro. And I never wanted to see him ever again once he got released. Well, right before he got released, he was doing that tag team with Braun Breaker and NXT, and I thought it was hokey. And of course, they did the oddball comedy buddy stuff in NXT. That's where it should have stayed. Hopefully, they never interact on the main roster. But yeah, man, Baron Corbin. Correct me if I'm wrong, Micah. That's what we thought that the experiment that Danhausen was working on was going to be Baron Corbin. So who's the experiment now? If it's not Baron Corbin,
Maybe Enzo. We got a teaser for Big Cass.
I don't know how that would correlate, but okay.
Oh, King of New York.
Maybe it's another little person. You think he's he loves some little people. Maybe it's a little guy.
Hornswoggle?
Or what's he doing?
Um, I'm sure he'll take a paycheck.
Man,
But
they probably just have Sheamus's salary and they just gave it to Baron Corbin. You think that's what happened?
oh my God, what a
Like, hey
downgrade.
Sheamus, you want to take this pay cut? All right. Well, how about we just give your salary to Baron Corbin?
I mean, you might be right in all honesty, but oh my God. Like it just, first off, I was already derailed because I thought the match was going well, and then this happens. And then,
Baron
like,
Corbin.
man, just on SmackDown, where,
I thought we were free.
yeah, and we have such a talented, like right now, both mid card divisions. This is something I was going to talk about with the Gauntlet match. Like both mid card divisions on both brands feel so strong. SmackDown right now we've got obviously Trick, Mello, Royce Keys, Ricky Saints, like plenty of guys. I don't want to see Baron Corbin. Like, and he's not going to be in the main event either. So I don't understand the signing. I'm not a fan. Like, listen, to the guy, hey, I respect you getting your money, my man. Like, you do you. But as a fan on the TV, I'm not sticking around for Baron Corbin segments.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe he'd be in the Matt Cardona spot of just taking pins.
I'd rather see Matt Cardona take the pins.
He
I
can
mean,
take the
like
pins on
I
main
like
event.
Cardona more than Corbin, but I'm saying, like
Well, go
I don't
watch
even
him on
want to
main
see
event.
Corbin take the pins.
I'm sure you'll be seeing him on WWE main event on the YouTube and wherever else they have that show at. But yeah, Baron Corbin, welcome back.
Don't let the door hit you on the way in. But we capped it off with a main event segment between Gunther and Nick Aldis. And Gunther thought Aldis was going to make things right here. This is a quick segment, but a lot of building blocks to talk about. So initially, the thing that I wrote down was this tag match that we're getting at Saturday night's main event, which will be CM Punk and Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Sami Zayn. What do you think about that, Ryan? I think it's a pretty interesting dynamic.
It is. It's gonna be a. I mean, the crowd heat is gonna be on fire, but I don't know how I feel about Sami Zayn and Gunther teaming up. I don't know how I feel about that, but
Yeah, that feels a little weird. I was thinking maybe this is finally the final push to get Sammy to go full heel, but at the same time, if Cody's going to go heel, I mean, maybe this is the catalyst, like after the match, if Punk and Cody lose somehow, but
yeah,
we'll have to see. But as far as after that, really the crux of the segment, once Gunther hears this, he basically lashes out on Aldis, attacks him. And yeah, they're still building this story, choked him out for basically like the last 5 minutes of the show. Do you think we're getting Aldis versus Gunther at SummerSlam?
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Who else would be? Who else would have a match with Gunther if not Aldis?
I don't know unless you
I,
ran Sammy.
yeah, I just don't see that happening. I know they've been teasing Aldis getting physical over the last couple of years. Remember they had that thing with Drew. I feel like he had something. Well, who else was did he? Who else did Aldis have beef with? Was it Pierce?
Yeah, I
Thought you
think it
gonna get
was
something with
Pierce.
that. Maybe it was one more guy, but it name escapes me. But still, Aldis looks like $1,000,000, man. Like you can see it through the suit. Like he is still pretty jacked. So if they do this match at SummerSlam, I think it might be sleeper match of the night, whichever night it goes on. Because I think they can have a really good match, Aldis and Gunther.
Do you think it'll be Aldis's last match? You know, he is the career killer.
There you go. There it is.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. I
So
hope they don't treat it like Aldis is like Pat McAfee out there. He can't go.
yeah, no, I would hope not. You know what I mean? I feel like they could explain well enough that, former NWA champion, made his name in TNA, all that kind of stuff. But
What was he in TNA?
Magnus,
Yeah, there you go.
I was a big
Magnus.
fan of his. But
What a
we
name.
move on. After I say that. I did want to say I thought the first Punk SmackDown was solid. We'll see what they do. I definitely
Yeah.
like it being 2 hours.
Yeah, that's a plus.
But we move on to Mondays, the final show we're going to talk about here. As far as the review goes, to start us off, we've got a segment with the Vision.
Oh my.
Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Maxine Dupree, or just
Hey,
Maxine now.
can I say something real quick? I
Go
think
ahead.
I think that this version of the Vision with Maxine is 10 times better than the version with Seth and Paul Heyman. And I'm just I don't know. It feels like there's a new element brought to the group now.
I want to agree with you because I do feel kind of some of the same way. I feel like Theory got to show more of his personality. I feel like Logan will be a good mouthpiece. My problem is the fact that Braun Breaker felt like the last guy in the pecking order when they were all standing there. Like he just the most generic black outfit. Like there's nothing that stands out about him. And that's another tirade I can say later. Like I feel like everybody just wears black now. Like Seth and Roman are all
Yeah,
in black. The Vision's in
everybody's
black.
blacked
Like,
out. The Street Profits all wearing black. Everybody's wearing black on the show.
yeah, like can we get some color? Like, can somebody stand out, please? I'm not saying you
Is
gotta
that
be
like
like
a
Seth of yesteryear, but
is that like a edict
I
on
don't
the
know.
show? Like you have to wear black? Does it look better on TV? I feel like it now that I've noticed it, I just can't unsee it. Like everybody wearing black.
Yeah. That was the same way with me. Like when I saw this segment, I was like, dude. Well, really, I saw this segment and I was like, okay, whatever. Then I seen the Seth segment and I was like,
you
dude.
know, you know who never wears black? Jacob Fatu always wearing red.
Well, you know
Maybe
why.
that's for other reasons. I don't know. Other than that,
At least he stands out. I'll give him
yeah,
that.
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I just it hurts me to see Braun Breaker right now because it just and then a report came out today after I wrote all this that apparently he's been kind of unhappy with the creative direction. And I mean I can understand it because where you look at him a year or two ago to now, I don't know. I did not like the way he was portrayed here. But as far as the segment goes, Otis and Tozawa come out, try to talk to Maxine. And I have to admit, man, I was sports entertained. Now, is this the
Yeah,
most like Vince, Jerry Springer garbage
yeah.
angle? Yeah. But I had to see what was gonna happen.
People always say that they want, storylines and they want stuff that we don't really see every week. And we don't see stuff like this every week. And I saw some criticism, Micah, about, having the on screen relationship with Maxine and Theory, knowing that, Maxine is married and I don't know if Theory's married or anything like that, but a lot of people got a problem with the fake on screen relationship and they don't think it adds anything to the product. But I disagree, Mike. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, it kind of
I think it helps.
I think on-screen relationships help. I think this is honestly the best Theory has came across on screen
Yeah.
in years.
And you know what? Bro, that's what got Edge to that next level. People say, "Oh, on-screen relationships never do anything." Oh, it got Edge to that next level of being that guy in the WWE. It got Macho Man to that next level. So
Dom,
Dom got him to that. Yeah. So people are quick to, cast away all the on-screen relationships. But bro, if you're a viewer at home, you can identify for the most part. I don't know about the AEW fan base over there. I kid, but everybody's been in relationships and everybody can relate to situations like this. So it adds another element when you're watching an on-screen relationship. And I thought that every party involved here did a good job. Maybe Tozawa was a little hokey, and maybe Otis's facial expressions was a little much, but I I thought it was an entertaining segment, man. It's probably the most memorable segment of the show.
yeah. Well, maybe between that and the main event segment, but Yeah, I mean,
Oh man.
I've got a soft spot for Otis. I can't help it. I think more could be done with him, but I think he knows his role and he plays it well. And yeah, I mean, it's an easy concept to grab. The douchebag as the hot girlfriend, and Otis is, left out in the cold because he doesn't have the six-pack abs and he's not a champion. And you hate that douchebag, but you hate him even more because he's got the hot girl. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
just adds
now
an extra element.
he's done took your girl too.
Yeah. And as far as like the on-screen relationship stuff, I think on-screen relationships work. I don't like when they acknowledge that those relationships, like if they are with other wrestlers, I don't like that they acknowledge that on the show unless it's like a Becky Seth situation because like Becky and Seth are never going to be in an on-screen relationship with somebody else barring Lana and Rusev. But uh
Yeah.
in a situation like that, if they're married, I think that's fine. But here, like honestly, I kind of wish that because somebody said that they had referenced that at one point in time that Maxine was married or not married, but in a relationship with one of the NXT talents. So I just feel like you kind of get into sticky situations like this now where it's like, well, we know the relationship isn't real, but nonetheless, I think that Maxine in the vision is a positive, and I think that this segment as a whole was basically reassurance of that. Like I said, it may be cheesy, it may be, goofy, but I was sports entertained.
And the aftermath, Micah, with Heyman in the backstage area, just pretty much saying that he is not needed in the vision anymore. What do you feel about that?
I think that's best case for all parties.
Oh man, it's over then.
I just I think Heyman was a fit for this group at one point in time. I don't think he is anymore because to me,
Yeah.
Heyman needs to be the lead guy on the mic because in the bloodline, Heyman would talk and pass the mic to Roman. And in the vision, Heyman would talk and pass the mic to Seth, and Seth would
Yep.
talk and pass the mic to Braun. And then when Seth was gone, Heyman would pass the mic to Braun, and Braun would pass the mic to Logan, and it just became too many people talking.
So no more Heyman, no more Seth. Does Bronson Reed come back to the vision, or is that it for him as well in the vision?
I think you would need to do something else with him. I think four is enough. You've already got your tag team with Theory and Logan. Once Logan comes back, for right now, Logan's the mouthpiece. Maybe you bring Bronson in and let Braun be the head honcho, but I don't know. I'd have to see how it all shakes out and like what time Bronson Reed would be coming in.
I think all these guys would benefit more from just doing their own thing in like the upper mid card main event scene. But as it stands right now with the new injection of Maxine, I'm maybe a little more optimistic of the future of the vision. But yeah, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah. And it got over in the arena.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
following that, a quick hitter that, really wasn't on the list here. I just wanted to mention that Lyra Valkyria has ventured off into street drugs, ladies and gentlemen. And I remarked that, I've got a few relatives that look like Lyra
Oh
Valkyria
man,
in this
come
version.
on.
I think I could name some local cities that have some residents that look like her.
Well, you know what? At least it's a character. If she's doing something, um, it's
I'll
probably
admit,
yeah,
she probably cut her best promo I've ever heard
yeah.
from her.
I was just about to say that she cut her best promo. So yeah, we'll see. She finally did something that stood out. You know what? I hope she just sticks with that look right there. And yeah, kudos to her for committing all the way to that. And yeah, a lot of people online are saying that this is the feud that's gonna, basically end Bailey's tenure with the WWE. It's gonna be her last big feud. So yeah, I think they got a match this weekend, Saturday night's main event. So we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, so far so good, man.
Yeah. Think maybe you pair her up with Tatum Paxley.
I guess weren't they a thing in NXT?
Oh, I don't even know.
I don't know. You don't
But
even know. You just threw out the idea.
yeah, I really did. I just threw out the idea. They could have been a
Okay.
team. They might not have. It does sound familiar now that you mention it. But we move
Crackhead
on.
bird
Crackhead bird lady. Sounds like something that would have went viral in like 2010.
on Vine.
Yeah, on Vine. Or like you remember the hide your kids, hide your
Tout.
wives guy? Tout. Oh God. But just like random stuff would go viral then.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's two people climbing up on the what was that? I almost said the Eiffel Tower, the Empire State
Oh
Building.
man. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's bro,
Yeah.
news like comes and goes so fast now.
Yeah. Well, I always know that something's really stuck whenever it hits millennial Facebook and they start sharing it like crazy. Like, I don't know if you remember this like last year, but the whole Hawk Tua thing, like everybody thought, oh my
Oh
God, that's the
god.
funniest thing I've ever heard. And then like,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah. Then kind
Facebook
of
was
fizzled out.
cesspool.
Bro, it's even worse now with the AI like slop all over
Oh
Facebook.
God.
And you got people that share the AI images of themselves, and then the other
Yes.
people say like compliment the pictures, and then they just say thank you, like that's them or something. I don't know.
Or just like AI food videos. It's all over. Again, we're going down a rabbit hole. We still got Raw to talk about. The gauntlet match to determine the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. It was here. It was long.
You didn't like
I
it.
like these guys, but 40 minutes. I wasn't watching it live. Joe Hendry is the one that started this off. Yeah, I
See,
like I like the Gable one.
yeah, I agree with you somewhat, but I actually think that the middle and like beginning was actually really good, especially when Javon started going, and he had a spectacular mini match with Dragon Lee in there. Like they tore the house down during their matchup, and I thought he had a good little back and forth with Rusev as well. Got the fans behind him for that pass out. Yeah, man, I thought it was all in all, it was a pretty good gauntlet match, but
I think maybe I should have been a little more locked into it, but I don't know, man. Like the last gauntlet match that I remember like really being invested in was that one at the Raw I went to where basically I
oh
think
my.
Punk won to determine that he was gonna face
Oh,
Gunther.
okay. I thought you were gonna name the one we went to with Judgment Day.
No, no, no. But that's kind of my point. Like I just feel like eventually they get drug out. And so I
Yeah, it just
knew
feels like this like they're just trying to buy time just by putting
yeah.
a gauntlet match in there.
And I knew Gable was gonna win. So that aspect of it too was kind of just like, I was kind of waiting for him to get out. But I mean, again, the guys are good. Would you say that this is like the best mid card scene that WWE has had in shoot,
Quite
I
some
don't
time,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah. It's been quite some time. It's they got the story built up with Chad and Penta because that led to well, we talked about it on the pod before, but Penta's first match was with Chad, and Penta beating Chad led him to go to AAA to study Lucha Libre, and eventually it brought him back to the main roster as a whole different guy, basically. And the redemption arc of Gable. Now he's finally gonna, hopefully, he'll win his first singles title in WWE in his hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, after that whole run with El Grande. I mean, you couldn't script it any better. What a story they told here. Now, whether they fell backwards into the story, I don't know. But for what they're presenting on screen, I think they've been doing some good stuff with the Gable redemption arc. But Micah, do you send Penta to the main event scene after he loses to Gable? Because I think he's done pretty much all he can do in the mid card.
And would it be crazy to put the Money in the Bank on him?
I'm rooting for LA Knight, which I've been saying this for like 3 straight years.
Yeah.
I want LA Knight to win. But
Dallas Cowboys fans.
I wouldn't, bro. How would a match with Roman Reigns and Penta look like? How would that look?
I don't even know.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Or like a whole feud?
But I say that. I don't know. I think it could work with certain guys. Like Punk could probably make it work. Maybe Seth. I think Seth could do that. But him and Roman, yeah, I can't imagine that unless we get back to Lucha Underground Penta.
Yeah, I was about to say, can he be Penta Dark? Is that available? Can he do that?
We just said there's too much dark and blackness on the show. It's true. We need some colors.
Okay, Penta Light.
It's okay. Good guy Penta versus he could just come out in like holy garb and fight evil bloodline Roman.
It's just he propels from the ceiling like Shawn did at WrestleMania.
Yeah, okay, there we go. I like this.
All right, let's go.
But I am very interested to see Gable versus Penta. I think, like you said, Aldis versus Gunther could steal match of the night. I think Gable versus Penta could steal match of the night.
Yeah, very much so.
But in the main event, we got our cinema, pal. The contract signing between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. You're down on this still?
I thought this was boring.
I thought this one would win you over. I gotta admit,
I didn't know.
They got me with this one. But Roman stole our line.
What'd he say?
He said he got to call a spade a spade.
Oh yeah, he did. I pointed at the TV when he said that. Well, hey, you watch the product.
He acknowledged us. But I mean, the bad thing about that is all of the things he said about Seth were true, and then Seth's defense was, "Oh, I'm a revolutionary. I'm a visionary."
Bro, if you're Seth and they script you that garbage, like I'm going into business for myself. Because he didn't even try to defend himself. He's the kind of guy like neutered on the mic, bro.
Yeah.
Like he said, didn't Roman's called Seth Triple H's son or something to that effect?
Basically, he said he said your daddy even runs the place. Your work daddy runs the place now, and you still can't be the guy.
He couldn't have brought up, well, your work daddy made you eat dog food or something. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't even try. Like, are they scripting Seth to be like just a putz?
A masochist? Is that the right word I'm looking for?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. We use that too. He's just like a goof out there, man. Like, can we bring up anything pre-bloodline for Roman Reigns? They don't bring up any of that big dog stuff. You notice that?
Well, of course not. They don't ever want to bring that back up.
Did Roman's career just start in 2021?
That's what people would lead you to believe.
It just seems like a disconnect here, especially on like commentary too.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Like you said, man. I feel like they, for lack of better words, they put Seth in the corner for the whole segment and made him watch as they destroyed him. Like, I don't know, man. Like, he walked out and didn't really say a whole lot insulting other than like, well, death taxes and you never beat me. And then Roman was like, okay, you're garbage. You don't draw money. Your body sucks. You're never the guy. Your daddy works here and you still can't be the guy. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. But also at the same point, I'm like, Dude, where was this Roman Reigns 3 months ago? Where was this Roman Reigns when we were supposed to have this generational feud with CM Punk?
Yeah, that was it started out okay, but then they just kind of like felt like they lost. They didn't have a lot of material to work with at a certain point, and they just relied on pull apart brawls.
Yeah, or oh, you're old. Oh, okay. Well, I brought you here. Like that was it. I'm like, dude, if he can just verbally eviscerate Seth Rollins on the mic,
Well,
why
he wasn't
couldn't
gonna do that to CM Punk, pal.
well, I mean, why not? Like, what is it if he's
Well,
gonna bring up that
nah.
stuff? Like, it's the stuff Drew brought up, so evidently it's not gonna hurt Punk's feelings.
Well, no, I mean CM Punk wasn't just gonna. CM Punk would have laid into him.
Oh
Like you want
yeah,
to
I mean,
start,
he wasn't gonna be a
you want to
pushover.
you want to throw rocks at a man that got a machine gun? I don't know, man. I would have took it easy on Punk too.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mister Phil.
you're old. Oh, that's all, Roman. Uh, yeah,
Fine speech.
fine speech, pal. Oh shoot. So I don't know. I have to admit, I bought in on this segment. I have not been a huge fan of this feud, but this segment did intrigue me. I guess just because it felt like old Roman was finally back, where he just like says the quiet part out loud and just tears through people on the mic. So I did enjoy
But
this segment.
it didn't make Seth look good though.
Well,
I know what Roman can do, but I wanted Seth to get to that next level and just kind of prove what we always thought of Seth. Like, it just seemed one sided to me, Micah.
I mean, it was. I'm
I
trying to
mean, he
think
laid
of a
him out.
comparison.
Seth laid him
Like,
out. I mean, he got his heat back, but I don't know. It just still felt like Roman just kind of eviscerated him.
who's that player, in the NBA where they keep saying like, "Oh, he's primed for a breakout year this year," and then he just never. It's always the same. He just gives you the same result. It's never the breakout. I feel like maybe like Melo, like or Brandon Miller. Oh, he's gonna break out this year, and that's just the same way with Seth. Like I don't put stock in it anymore, man. Like he is who he is. He's not gonna be any better or any worse. He's just Seth
Maybe like
freaking
a
Rollins.
Zion Williamson.
Yes, perfect. There we go. Been around for way too
Yeah,
long to never be that guy.
yeah. And now we're 7 years into his career. He's just he's good, but he's just not great. And he's not hyped up to be the next big thing like they thought he was gonna be. Just like Seth, bro. Everybody always said that he was gonna be the next Shawn Michaels. I know a lot of the younger fans, a lot of the young Gen Z, Gen Alpha fans compare him to Shawn Michaels, but he ain't no Shawn Michaels. And yeah, he's not that guy. I don't think he'll ever be that guy. And this feud with Roman is not doing him any favors because Roman is exposing him as a fraud. So yeah, I don't know. We still got 3 weeks. So
Yeah,
we got a couple more segments to go, but yeah, I don't know. Making Roman look strong, which
that's
I don't
all
know
that
how he
matters.
can look any more stronger than what he is right now.
Yeah. What was that? That was what they told Punk, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't he
make
talking
Roman
about?
look strong.
Yeah. Oh, but nonetheless, that was Monday Night Raw. We've got some predictions, and then we'll get out of your hair. Get out of your hair. Once again, easy for me to say, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday night's main event is this weekend in Madison Square Garden. So should be an interesting show. King of New York, Jalen Brunson is going to be there as appearing with Roman Reigns. So we may get a continuation of that segment there or something with Seth, maybe. But to start us off, a no DQ match, Danhausen versus JD McDonough.
They should headline the show with this, man. Like, I'm being serious. I think Danhausen is gonna get like a monster reaction, but I got Danhausen winning.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have them lose in New York. I mean, I could see if they do a Roman segment last, I could see the
What are
Danhausen
the
match being second to last.
what are the chances that he drives out there with I don't know, the New York legend out there in his casket car? You know what I'm talking about? That he has?
Oh,
You know that little
Well,
car he has now?
Well,
What are
yeah,
the
but
chances he comes out there with somebody?
we talking about like Josh Hart. You think Josh Hart would do it?
I think Josh Hart do it.
Okay, I'm down for that. Laker legend.
Mom Dunny
Oh,
available?
hold on now.
I don't know. No, I
I
doubt that.
subscribe to that.
I doubt that. But yeah, Josh Hart be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Melo
Cat?
still living over there? Cat? Yeah, he might be a little too big.
Yeah. Melo
Jeremy
might be a
Lin?
little too big. Oh,
What's
okay.
Jeremy Lin doing?
Down for that.
Yeah.
But following that, for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, we've got Paige and Brie Bella versus Fatal Influence.
I ain't been following none of this on SmackDown, but I'll go with Fatal Influence.
I'm gonna do the same.
Well,
I
actually,
think maybe we get a Nikki turn.
nah, you know what? I'm going hold up, run it back. I'll go with Paige and Brie.
I'm gonna stick with my vote. Just to shake things up. Following that, Bailey versus Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, I'll go Lyra here.
Think so?
Bro, Bailey always loses her big matches, and if she's on her way out, what's the point in giving her any wins on the way out? Just
Yeah.
have Lyra beat her like 3 times in a row,
Oh no, we can't do it for Brock. So, oh,
man. He's still salty about that.
yes. But for the main event, or proposed at least on Wikipedia, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Sami Zayn.
Is that 4 matches?
Yeah, and the Roman segment.
Oh god. Okay, yeah, I go with the baby faces here.
I'm gonna go
Cody.
with I'm gonna go Gunther Sammy. And maybe a Cody heel turn
Or all disappearance.
or Aldis maybe cost Cody and Sammy. Or I'm sorry, Gunther and Sammy. So I could see either of those happening, but I'm interested because I genuinely feel like there's a chance that Punk and Cody lose this. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we've been hanging on too long. It's time to let you go. We got Saturday night's main event and the rest of the weekly reviews coming up next week. Before we get out of here, make sure you check out our socials at ScoopSlam on just about every platform that you can find. Thanks for spending time with us. Take care of yourself over the weekend and have a good one.